My privilege to have a chat with RT, and we are talking about the Chennai Math Institute and his association, not just with Chennai Math Institute, but also my alma mater and his Indian Statistical Institute. And so I'd like to start with how did you get to ISI in the first place?
ISI I got into because once you complete your mathematics post-graduation in Chennai, one or two options were available. One was to pursue go into an unrelated subject like economics, where you can acquire another postgraduate degree.
Okay.
And aim to get into the civil service.
Okay.
Because in those days we were mostly thinking in terms of getting a job.
Yes.
Whether it was as a lecturer in a college or whether it's a bureaucrat somewhere, your focus for us was getting a job somewhere.
Yes, a stable job.
Yes. So at that time, we found there was an institution called Indian Statistical Institute, which was offering stipend for post-graduation studies.
Yes.
That was attractive. In my view, being financially a bit independent, not dependent on the family, was an attractive idea.
Okay.
So I said I will sit for the entrance examination.
Yes.
And I wanted to be away from Chennai. I had been there in this place for so many years.
Okay.
I thought it would be nice to be in a different place. So once I got admission and money and financially some independence, if not total independence from the family,
yes,
I joined the ISI.
Yeah, I mean, for me, financial part loomed large because at that time my father's business failed, and so I was at IIT. In fact, I would have preferred to be an engineer, but because of the financial difficulty and ISI gave me the job, that was godsend. So I joined ISI because of that. So after that, how did you end up with starting as an entrepreneur?
You see, I didn't start as an entrepreneur. I became a wage earner. I was an employee of an insurance company, which at that moment chose to take some people as directly recruited officers with a good salary. In ISI, at the conclusion of our course, what was in our horizon was what we used to call 250 rupees consolidated, was the salary that we could hope for as a statistician.
Sure.
At that time, this insurance company offered to take in officer trainees.
And they paid more?
A salary of around 700 rupees or 750 or so.
So 3 times as much as...
Yes. So one of my senior persons in ISI, he had applied for it, got selected. Then some of us started focusing on that.
I see.
So when the next time when they advertised for it, I applied and got and became an employee of that insurance company, which was a New India Insurance Company, which was partly the Tata organization.
Yes.
So I was with them for the next 15 years or so.
Okay.
And I became a part-time businessman somewhere around 1974-73 by getting involved in other people's enterprises without putting too much of my money into it. I used to get involved in trying to manage enterprises which were in some kind of a difficulty.
Okay.
You could say I was a part-time management consultant.
I see.
So I liked that position. And later on, some of my friends wanted me to assist them in setting up enterprises. So I got dragged into it. I wasn't keen on becoming a businessman.
I see.
But some of my friends somehow felt that I can assist them to become businessmen. So I created a few groups like that. Some investments were pooled.
Okay.
And I would say mainly due to the pressure of my friends who wanted to start businesses, I started quite a few businesses.
I see. Are these friends from ISI or?
None of them was from ISI.
Okay.
You
were the only.
Insurance and insurance takes you to different companies.
Sure.
If you are a salesperson in an insurance industry, then you get to know a lot of business people and business enterprises. So some of them were from these other enterprises. That's how I got into business.
Okay.
And over a period of the next, I would say from 1980 onwards, I thought it was possible for us to make some of these fledgling enterprises become bigger. The opportunities were there. So I went, and in none of them did I put in my money, because I did not have much of my personal money. My family money was available, but my father was very reluctant to allow me to go the entrepreneurial way. Because he was an agriculturist, and he felt that
this is too risky.
Business is dangerous. So I didn't want to create much of a tension for him. So
I see.
I always looked around for other people's money. So I had to create partnerships all the time. And my contribution would be very, very meager. And okay, I was into, as partners, I was into financing business. And I chose a line which was relatively safe and a bit different from what many of the finance companies were doing, which means lending money to commercial vehicle owners.
Right.
Generally, people had a reluctance to lend money for commercial vehicle owners because you can't see the security for most of the time.
Right.
The security is a moving security. It was moving all over India. Even the owner of a commercial vehicle would rarely have a darshan of his vehicle. So people were nervous to finance.
Yes.
But I could see that they were okay. Because I was also dealing with them as an insurance man. So I developed that business in a fairly big way.
I see.
Otherwise, I wouldn't call myself a businessman at all. And I would like to describe myself as a consultant to businesses.
Okay.
So in that sense, I have been involved in different businesses, not only in finance, in different kinds of manufacturing over the years. So that's why today the group of companies with which I am associated are into, apart from finance, they are into different kinds of businesses, including manufacturing,
right,
services, etc.
Right.
So
Right.
quite wide-ranging
right,
kind of activity.
diversified.
Yes.
So do you see the diversification as a diversification of risk as well?
I didn't look at it that way. In any case, being a mathematician, statistician, and probability thinking oriented, I wasn't a risk taker. So I was sensitive to risk. So naturally, in any business that I would enter into, the risk management would be a focus area for me.
Right.
So I did not need diversifying of my interest in order to do risk management. In each business segment, there was risk management.
Okay.
So I didn't have to do diversification. Diversification came about because of my association with different kinds of people.
I see.
So people who were very comfortable in some manufacturing activity, I was partner with them.
Okay.
Those who were comfortable with finance, I was a partner with them.
Okay.
That's how it was, partnering with people because of the need for raising money through partnerships rather than my putting in money.
Right.
I was a different person, not with a view to diversify risk.
Okay. So how did you come associated with Professor Seshadri?
I think it was Seshadri coming associated with me rather than the other way around. Suddenly, I knew Seshadri. I had met Seshadri when I was in Mumbai, when he was in Tata Institute of Fundamental Research.
Yeah.
And what brought
But he was not interested in your kind of business, or was he?
He was not interested at all in business at that time.
Yeah.
What made me come to know Seshadri was his involvement with the classical music, with which I was very deeply involved.
I see.
The TIFR people organized a colloquium, or something like they called a colloquium. And one of the chaps and one of the professors in TIFR was in my college mate.
I see.
And we were close to a great musician. Both of us were great admirers of Lalgudi Jairam.
Of course, yes.
And he knew, that was Professor Ramanan. Ramanan knew that I was close to Lalgudi Jairam. I had managed to become close to him.
I see.
It didn't turn out to be naturally close, but I cultivated a relationship with Lalgudi Jairam. When they wanted Lalgudi for the colloquium, Ramanan wanted me to meet his colleagues in Tata Institute.
Okay.
So I went there, spent some time, and I organized Lalgudi Jairaman's concert for the colloquium. During those days, I had seen Seshadri and knew that he was interested in music.
So that was your first interaction with him?
So I could recall, I mean, Seshadri is a person whom you can't forget if you had met him once or twice.
I agree.
He's very, very different from most of the other people. So somehow Seshadri stuck into my head. And later on, I don't know how he got to know that I could be of some use to CMI.
Uh-huh.
But he came to me
Uh-huh.
through again a musical connection, I suppose. Maybe Balaji. Balaji's relative was involved with some musical sabhas or something like that. So Seshadri came to me suggesting that our organization should fund a chair in the name of Professor Vaidyanatha Swami.
Okay.
And the involvement was about 15 lakhs or something, he said. At the time I thought we could afford it. I said I liked being associated. If I can do something for the institute, I said okay. It started off like that.
Okay.
Then one opportunity or the other came for getting more deeply involved. And unfortunately at that time financially we were becoming a bit less strong than what we were due to various changes in the regulatory environment.
Okay.
So what we could have, what I thought at that time we could do, it wasn't possible for me to do. But in other ways I got involved. I brought in another ISI colleague of mine who was in the civil service.
Uh-huh.
I got him involved with
CMI.
He made a useful contribution to the growth and development. He got more involved with CMI than what I could have.
No, but you brought in the contact.
I brought him in and I could judge that he will be useful.
Yes.
And, he was quite useful. He was very enthusiastic about CMI. Then of course because of our increasing visibility, prosperity, etc., the contribution could become more. I could involve other institutions to support CMI in those days. So the relationship could be a bit useful to the institution.
Okay. So as you know, right now CMI has been in existence for 25 years.
That, I see.
So 1989, 2014, 25 years.
My involvement started only in 2000, 1999 or 2000. So my involvement with CMI is only for about 14 years, 13 years.
Okay, so you have seen, in the 14 years it has grown and it has moved in certain direction. Where would you like to see, since you are in the long-term business as we were talking about earlier, where would you like to see institution like CMI go in the next 10, 20 years?
I would like to see CMI creating more and more mathematicians.
Okay.
Seshadri
at what levels?
At the research level, but that means you have to start it at the lowest level.
Okay.
You will not be. It's a much better route to creating research mathematicians. This is a way of associating with them at the high school level. Is a much better way of creating research mathematicians at a later date, rather than looking around for research mathematicians after they have done a post-graduation or something like that.
Right.
This can create much more material from which you can develop research mathematicians.
Yes.
That's what I liked about the CMI model. Catching them
early
at that age, bringing them into contact with people who could be inspiring youngsters, which doesn't happen in colleges where you don't have that kind of professors. And I had also seen, but when you had one or two professors who were very much passionate about mathematics, they could inspire people.
It's contagious.
Choose mathematics as
yes.
We had one or two such people in the college where I was studying, and they were instrumental in creating your Ramanans and Parsaras. It was not the total mathematical environment; it was just one
or two person.
One person, two persons there. So once the younger generation, which was mathematically talented, but is not aware that mathematics can become a passion for them. To put that passion into such people, you need that kind of an inspiration.
Yes.
An institution like this should catch them at a part. Otherwise, they may go and end up in IITs and BComs.
Yes, absolutely.
So this is a better way of creating a large number of research mathematicians.
Yes.
As well as fairly useful mathematics. We need both kinds of, in the coming years, I would say in the coming decades, the world is going to need a lot of mathematicians in all kinds of positions.
Yes.
They will not be merely mathematicians. They will be practicing mathematicians in many disciplines, even in the commercial world. So you need more and more mathematicians of different hues.
Right.
Only the research,
Right.
absent-minded Seshadris that we talk about. Imagine as a model of a mathematician, you need lots
More
of
practical mathematician.
different kinds of physiologist mathematicians, all kinds of people. So that this model could create. And therefore this, I think it will develop like that. Not as a university with different kinds of liberal education kind of an university. I don't think CMI should aim to become one like that. I'm also not sure that it will make make it possible for them to produce greater mathematicians. I am not very clear about that. Seshadri believes, maybe that's another way of doing it. It's not the concept, but the person who works that concept can make a change.
Yes.
And a liberal university can also create great mathematicians.
Sure.
A focused university can also create. It all depends on what kind of a leadership that you have.
That's right.
I think the kind of leadership that Seshadri can provide is very difficult to get. So it's better to create universities which focus on mathematics and related sciences rather than making it very wide. So I would like to see CMI being one of them.
Okay.
And create 10 others in India in the next coming years. It has to be inspiring other institutions to do the same thing.
Okay.
Which CMI.
Okay. Thank you very much.